Hi friends, if like me you're feeling incredibly sad and overwhelmed by emotion because of the events in Ukraine, I am recording this video to offer what hopefully can be a helpful way to navigate our inner landscape as we witness this crisis from a distance and find our way towards wise and compassionate response. You might feel that the events in Ukraine are more than just upsetting. You might see that they are triggering some of your own traumas, or they might be triggering older generational traumas that have been carried on from generation to generation, whether our families came from Europe and went through the Holocaust or World War II, or elsewhere in the world have been victims of wars, political violence, have become refugees. In order for us to find that compassionate response, the wise and compassionate response, we need to first find a certain measure of grounding within ourselves, a certain measure of a capacity to be with what's happening in our inner landscape without running away from it. That is what allows us to cultivate the compassion that can inform a wise response, rather than having us caught in hatred. I recognize that what is going on in Ukraine is really part of a larger context in European history, in human history, and that we as human beings sometimes get caught in patterns that we repeat. And when there's trauma, generational trauma as well, we lose our ability to be flexible and to change reality. We get stuck in these repetitive patterns. And so we need to produce collectively a shift in the way we respond to violence, to the delusion behind this violence and aggression, if we are to avoid repeating our patterns in much larger and catastrophic ways. And so I'm thinking of the aftermath of World War I, in which an isolated, revanchist Germany was led into extremism with the consequences that we all know. And so if we are to really respond, we need to not be numb. And if we are to not be numb, we need to feel safe enough with what is happening within each one of us. And so here's my offer to you today. I would like to go through a number of steps, the first of which is helping us find a measure of grounding. From that measure of grounding, I would like us to try and find the places within us where love and compassion are easily available, so that we can then extend this love and compassion to those who are most in need of it right now. And again, the hope is that this is going to help us collectively not numb out and find a response within us that isn't the automatic response that we have, that is natural as human beings of aversion and hatred, but actually trying to find something better, something different, something that can actually transform the patterns in which we are all collectively stuck to a degree. Even if many of us, me included, have been unaware of this to a great extent. Even if many of us thought we were in a different place in our collective human evolution, and certainly in the history of Europe and the way nation states interact with each other. So in order to solve or to help change all of this, we need to go deeper, and it starts within ourselves. And so if you're ready, I propose that we get started. And the first thing I'd like to ask of all of us is to really take a moment to take stock of our environment, okay? So let's just physically turn our heads and scan the environment. Hopefully, when we're doing this, we are at home in a safe place, and we can realize the absence of threats right now. The absence of external threats in our immediate environment. We might even be able to find an object that feels intimate, familiar. Try to see if you find something that gives you an immediate sense of, home sweet home. And try to see what feeling that object produces in you as you observe it. Something that says, I'm at home, I belong, right here. I can let my guard down. Try to see if there's a warmth that is awakened in the chest, in the belly, or in the throat. Home sweet home. And if this feeling is available, you can choose to close your eyes. And focus your attention on the places in which your body touches the ground, the chair, the cushion, wherever you're sitting. And try to feel the heaviness and weight of your body as it sinks into these places for a full and stable contact with the earth. You can imagine your chair connected to the floor, connected to the earth, and yourself, stable and solid. You might notice that thoughts start to appear, physical sensations, and that's perfectly okay. You can gently bring your attention back to the sense of stability, solidity. Connection with the earth, groundedness, right in this moment. And if that feeling of groundedness is available, I'd like you to bring your attention to someone for whom you feel a very easily available, uncomplicated feeling of love and affection and compassion. It could be a friend, a family member, it could be your dog, it could be a spiritual figure. It is up to you. But it should be something easy, uncomplicated. And once you've found this person or this being, try to see what the feeling of love and compassion for this being feels like in your body. You can imagine this being going through some sort of difficulty and some sort of suffering. And this being is in front of you. And you bring your arms towards them with the intention of comforting them, of holding them with your compassion, with the intention of wishing all the happiness in the world for them. Saying, I hope your suffering is eased. May your suffering be eased. May you be safe. May May you be held in compassion. Try to see what that feels like in your body. Imagining having this being in front of you and having the warmth of your love and compassion. You might feel a sense of warmth in your arms, in your chest. In your throat. Imagine wrapping this warmth around this being, saying, may your suffering be eased. May you be safe. May you be held in compassion. Allowing this warmth, this openness to stay with you in your chest, wherever else you feel it. Quickly check in with those places in your body that are connected with the ground, with the chair. Remembering that feeling of groundedness. And if this feeling of groundedness is available, you can choose to bring into this space of compassion a new being. Knowing that the space of compassion that we're awakening is not just ours individually. Collectively, you and me, everyone else who's watching at any point in time, anyone else who's holding the same intention. We are all cultivating this collective witnessing, this collective effort to create a space of compassion for those who are suffering. And so in this spacious, space of compassion, held by so many of us, see if you can bring in someone who's suffering right now in Ukraine, someone whose home was shelled, someone who might have lost a loved one, a child, someone who was living a normal life just 2 weeks ago, normal life like you and me, and who's now dealing with untold suffering. See if you can evoke the image of this person and hold them in this open space of compassion. Imagining the warmth of this love and compassion that you've awakened in yourself. Imagine this same warmth reaching this person in front of you. You can imagine that this person that you're evoking and bringing into the space of your compassionate awareness could be one of us outside of Ukraine. They're no different. It could be a mother, a father, a child, like the ones in our own families. Try to see if the warmth of this compassion can flow toward this other human who happens to be in Ukraine right now. And trying to feel the suffering that they're enduring. Trying to relate to the grief and the anger. And wrapping your arms metaphorically around them. Allowing that warmth to flow. And saying, may your suffering be eased. And really feeling what that means. May your suffering be eased. What does that feel like in your body to express that compassion? May you be safe. Again, feeling what that is like in the body. May you be safe. Feeling that warmth of your arms around this person, saying, may you be safe. May you be held in compassion. Thinking, feeling as though this compassion could reach the person you're bringing into the space of your attention. As if we were connected through space, through time. Because in truth, we are. Allowing this warmth to really expand. connecting with the warmth of the compassion of so many others, holding the suffering we're witnessing. And if this feels okay, you can imagine bringing into the space of your awareness someone who's on the other side of this. Perhaps a Russian soldier, no older than 19, who's been tricked into thinking that he had to go and commit acts of violence and war for his country or for his family. And imagining what's underneath the beliefs that this human might be holding, beneath the actions that these beliefs are driving. What's underneath it? Underneath it is another human being who, at the end of the day, like all of us, yearns for safety, for connection, yearns to be loved and to love, despite all the delusion. Of separateness, of hatred. Trying to connect to that gold of this soldier's humanity, of this other human being's fundamental goodness. Imagining to hold this human in front of us as well. Holding him in the space of our compassionate awareness. And expressing the same wishes. May your suffering be eased. Feeling again in the body what that feels like to offer this wish. May your suffering be eased. May you be safe. May you be held in compassion. And lastly, imagine holding this person, the Ukrainian person you held in your compassionate attention just a moment ago, your loved one, yourself, all of us who are cultivating this intention together, this compassionate awareness together. Imagine holding all of us in this space of warm, inclusive, compassionate awareness, imagining that each one of us shines outwards this same compassion and warmth, and we all collectively hold each other. And together we express one more wish. May we be free from hatred. May we be free from greed. May we be free from delusion. May we realize our interconnectedness. May we love with the ease of an open heart. Really feeling what that means, realizing that we are one, letting go of the delusion of separation and hatred. Feeling what that feels like in the body. When we're able to see that fundamental goodness in each other. May we live from that. May we all be safe. Slowly begin to feel the possibility of allowing this warmth and compassion that we've awakened and cultivated today to stay with you for the rest of today and going forward as you open your eyes slowly. Thank you guys so much for listening, practicing with me. I look forward to your thoughts and to hear anything you would like to share on this topic. And I look forward to connecting with anyone who's interested, so that we can continue to awaken to the truth of our human experience. the truth of that fundamental goodness in each one of us. And so that we can each one of us cultivate what is needed within us and live from that and create the change that we need in this world. Many blessings.